Welcome to Sound and Fury. I'm Eric Wilfred Watson.
And I'm Hugh Frank, and my brain's been a little froggy ever since my car got towed.
Today we're going to talk about my guilty pleasure movie pick, which is Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Yes!
In the future. Dance or die!
Best movie ever.
Now, we did a guilty pleasures pick video a while ago, and I intentionally left this one off because I wanted to focus on this one specifically for some unknown reason.
Because it's awesome.
I rewatched it for this video, and it's just as horribly wonderful, bad, awful, I'm embarrassed to be a human being as I remember it being.
Hell. Sam Hell.
Never heard of you.
We're going to Frogtown.
Now, for those of you that are unaware, Hell Comes to Frogtown is an actual movie that was made and people watched and paid money to see on purpose.
With Emmy-nominated, Oscar Award-winning, and Golden Globe master Roddy Piper.
Starring Roddy Piper as Sam.
I think he won a couple Tonys just because.
Yeah, I think so too. Tony.
Yeah, probably a Grammy just to round it out.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
But for those of you that have not had the pleasure of seeing this, I will say that this video is going to contain spoilers. Not that you can really spoil Hell Comes to Frogtown.
I'm pretty sure Hell does come to Frogtown.
Yeah, I mean, the plot of the movie is basically the title. There's a guy named Hell, Sam Hell.
Sam Hell. Wait, there was a plot?
Yeah, right.
I think I missed it.
Doesn't matter. But it's in a post-apocalyptic near future. In the not-too-distant future. The movie starts with a fantastic opening. It has a voiceover that says, human beings in the latter part of the 20th century had a minor disagreement, or some words to that effect.
In the latter days of the 20th century, there arose a difference of opinion.
And then they just show an atomic bomb going off.
Yeah, I remember that in the late 20th century. I was there.
Mm-hmm. And then they have like a shot of rubble, and what would have been a fantastic shot had this been a real movie. They fake you out and show like a Statue of Liberty, kind of reminiscent of the end of Planet of the Apes. They did it. Those damn dirty apes.
That's right. Yeah.
Damn you all to hell.
Frogtown.
But they fake you out. It looks like the Statue of Liberty until a hand reaches up and grabs it, and it's just a little toy Statue of Liberty. And then a guy gets...
It's only a model.
Guy gets beat up by a frog person, and then that's basically the intro to the movie.
Yeah.
And you haven't seen it for a while, though, have you?
It's been a while, yeah. Back when we used to get together for Bad Movie Night is when I watched it. So it's been a while. It was either one before or one after They Live. We were on a Rowdy Piper dual, double movie night or whatever. But yeah, it's been a while. I know that Sam Hell is one of the last male humans that has basically working male parts, and so he's worth something because they want to kind of harvest him, so to speak,
right,
to continue the human race. And let's just say that kind of goes to his head, I guess.
It's
not intended to be a pun. It's just like
the movie was filmed in the 80s, and that kind of attitude kind of comes through a little bit. It's sort of a chauvinistic male fantasy. He's like, what if I had to impregnate all of the women?
Yeah.
So there's that.
There is that.
The movie starts...
But you know what? If one male had to be the father of the rest of humanity, Roddy Piper is the guy.
That is true.
Just saying. Or if he had to fight somebody for a half hour to get them to wear a pair of sunglasses, Roddy Piper.
So at the beginning of the movie, he's a criminal who's in trouble.
A smooth criminal.
Yes.
Ow!
But they realized that a woman that was accusing him of sexual assault was pregnant, and all of a sudden she was happy about it. That didn't really age well. But it turns out that his junk producing actual sperm the U.S. government, well, it's not the U.S. government because there's no more United States, it's the provisional government post-war.
Yeah.
They put a chastity belt on him that will give him an electric shock if he gets too far away, and he signs a contract where he agrees to not be charged criminally if he will impregnate all of the women.
Now, MedTech's main assignment is to locate and impregnate fertile women in the wastelands. Now, we need potent young men in the fields to assist in this great work. Men who can take care of themselves, who know the territory, who can perform under difficult conditions. Do you feel up to it?
Are you serious?
He reluctantly agrees to this.
Reluctantly, yeah.
I don't know why he reluctantly agrees to this, but he reluctantly agrees to this. He tries to escape at one point. Like, oh no, I have to have sex with all the women. I'm going to run away.
They say do what you love and you never work a day in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Shut your hole.
Shut your hole!
But the movie has absolutely no budget, and it's obvious. Most of the movie is them riding through the desert. It's sort of a...
I went through the desert on a frog with no name.
Well, in this case, it's a pink truck with a machine gun mounted on the top.
This is Sentinella. Watch him for me, Corporal.
Will the driver of the APC please clear the runway immediately?
I'm not going in that.
You don't ride, we'll drag you on a chain.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a Mad Max ripoff.
Mad Max comes to Frogtown.
Well, in Mad Max, it's post-apocalyptic vehicles running through the desert. There's a whole bunch of clones of that in the 80s. When that was popular, they realized all you need to do is soup up a car, throw it in the desert, spend $12, and you have a movie.
That's true.
And this is one of those movies that did that. So the plot of the movie is, once he's recruited, him and two other women go off to rescue women that have been captured by Commander Toady.
Ah, yes, Commander Toady.
So they go to Frogtown to rescue the multiple fertile women that Commander Toady is holding hostage for some reason.
Hence the movie, hence the title. Hell comes to Frogtown.
Then shootouts, gunfights, lizard women, or frog women.
By the way, I don't know how to thank you for helping us.
I do.
Oh, wait a second, lady.
Dance of the Three Snakes, all kinds of wonderfulness. He gets captured. They try to cut off his chastity belt with a chainsaw.
I gotta tell you, you are one weird dude.
And it's just wonderful.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest thing ever filmed, and I hate that I love this movie, but I kind of love this movie.
It's awesome.
The frog costumes are actually good for the time. The eyes blinked. They're, I don't know what prosthetic they used or how the mouth moving. It wasn't great, but I mean the skin looked like it had texture and slimy moisture to it. It looked froggy.
Maybe they were slimy because they were from the Weta workshop.
It won't go over my head because I will catch it.
The Weta workshop. They design all the prop animals and stuff. I think specifically for the Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe and all those. Okay. That was all the Weta workshop anyway. So.
Well, the movie concludes where the lady who he goes into Frogtown with, he has her pose as his slave so he can get into their nightclub of frogs drinking alcohol in like a post-apocalyptic worn-down warehouse that's abandoned that they pretended was a set. And
it was actually just the director's house.
Reminded me of Return of the Jedi with Leia being the slave girl, where this woman is a slave girl forced to do a dance for the slimy lizard guy. Very... It was the dance of the three snakes.
Ah.
Basically, she had to erect his three snakes for him.
No.
So
I must have blocked out parts of this movie. Definitely that one.
This movie I saw originally on USA Up All Night. If you remember that show.
I do.
I think, if I remember correctly, it was hosted by Gilbert Gottfried.
Hello. I'm Gilbert Gottfried, but you knew that. Anyway, I'm the last fertile man in the world. So I've got my work cut out for me, because without me, the earth stops here. Anyway, in this next part of Hell Comes to Frogtown, Roddy Piper really gets alarmed by his high-tech huggies.
But, yeah, and then the movie ends with
and everybody's relieved.
You're right. There's a shootout in the desert. The Mad Max car with the souped-up machine guns on it chases them through the desert. And it concludes where the bad guy, who is a human, explains the plot to you at gunpoint.
You see, this used to be a man's world, Sam. But now there are too many women that have us by the short hairs. But I'm going to change that.
Ah, yes.
And then there's a gunfight at Vasquez Rocks, no less.
Of course, because everything happens at Vasquez Rocks.
And then bad guys die, and
We could do a
then...
whole episode on Vasquez Rocks, couldn't we?
could.
We should take a road trip and then do an episode there. Anyway, sorry.
From there.
From there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then they rescue the women, load him up onto the car, and off he goes to impregnate his way into the future. That's a real movie.
And that's why we are all descendants of Roddy Piper, who has come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Most people think that came from Duke Nukem, but Duke Nukem stole that from Roddy Piper.
This movie has a similarly awesome line.
Eat lead, froggies.
Eat lead, froggies!
I remember that now. Yes. Yes.
So, I'll give this movie one actual bit of praise, like not sarcastically.
Okay.
It could have been a schlocky, softcore porn thing you'd see on Cinemax at 3 in the
it
morning.
does have that plot.
But there's almost no nudity. There's one sequence where one of the women that are transporting him through the desert like hops in bed with them, and she takes her shirt off, and there's nudity.
I can't make any noise. This is against regulations. I'm not fertile. I don't want you wasting yourself.
That's very brief. This movie could have been just a softcore porn where they like parade women in and make it really. It was the era where they did that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And this movie didn't, which I give a couple points for that.
Okay, fair enough.
But if you haven't seen Hell Comes to Frogtown, all you need to do is go to YouTube and watch the trailer, and then you've basically seen the movie.
Yeah.
But I love it, even though I hate it.
It's the movie that you love to hate.
And I have nothing further to add.
All right, so it's time to
Shut
your
your
hole.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
I gotta tell you, you are one weird dude.